I want to start off this review by saying I really, really wanted to like this movie. I'm a huge fan of Ryan Gosling. I think he's pretty much great value in everything you watch him in. Emily Blunt is very charismatic and, again, very likeable, and I've liked her in virtually everything I've ever watched her in. It just wasn't the film I thought it was going to be. I watched the trailer, it was great fun, it was fast-paced, it looked really, really funny. And I just didn't get that when I watched the movie. And do you know who's to blame? The 80s. The 80s is the reason why I didn't enjoy a movie based on a TV show from the 80s. Now, the 80s defined this rom-com, action, stunt, caper format. You know, you had two attractive leads in crazy situations and hilarity ensued. It was the staple of basically all videos that we used to rent from blockbusters as kids, and it was the staple of cinema really at that time, from the very, very early 80s all the way through to the early 90s. That was what we were fed. And the problem we've got now with modern day stuff is it's trying in a Stranger Things type of way to reignite that magic that we had it that short decade. And I don't think you can't replicate it. It's just not really possible. That was of its time, and the lightheartedness, the campiness of it, you know, even in retrospect, when you watch it now, a lot of it still carries because it's so well written, and these actors were in their prime. Take, for example, Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner in Romancing the Stone. Fantastic on-screen chemistry. They work so well in this movie together. The film is silly, fast-paced, fun. Then you've got Big Trouble in Little China. Same kind of thing. You've got Kurt Russell, good-looking, funny, charismatic lead. And then you have Kim Cattrall, who's, again, very attractive, really good comic timing, and really good on-screen chemistry. The genres are different. It doesn't make a difference if it's fantasy, whatever it is. It's irrelevant. The bottom line is you have the same concoction. You have action, you have lots of practical effects and stunts, and this is all wrapped up in fast, fun, happy-go-lucky nonsense, essentially, that, you know, you can consume, walk out of a cinema, be laughing about, talking about with your friends, and then you hide it on a blockbuster, you know, months down the line. And these films became staples years and years later. You know, you could put these things on for a young kid now and they would enjoy them. They have transitioned so well. And I don't know what's happened now, but it just seems to be that it's almost like the directors and the producers of Hollywood are trying so hard to recapture that feeling that people had at that time, that it just seems so obvious on screen. The actors are very aware of their lines. Everything seems too meta in a way. And so, unfortunately, it gets lost. And a lot of the jokes in this, they don't land. And it's not through fault of the leads, because Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling are fantastic. I mean, they deliver them as good as the next person. But you can only do with what you have. And unfortunately, what they have in this is a script that's unfortunately with jokes in that don't really kind of work for them. I mean, their comic timing is good, but I don't ever really feel their chemistry on the screen. It's there because you can tell that they like each other as actors in real life, but on screen it all feels a little bit forced, and I don't know. It's all a bit shoehorned in. You know, it doesn't really feel real, and because of what happens in the film, essentially, where people are fighting each other but then having a chat 5 minutes later, you can't really take much of it seriously. There doesn't seem to be, the stakes aren't very high, you know. So again, even in things like Big Trouble and Romancing the Stone, there was elements where you thought someone could get really hurt or something bad could happen, but it doesn't really happen in these modern films. David Leitch was a really good shout for this film. I thought he'd be a really good fit. I mean, he's known for his extensive work as a director, producer, and stunt coordinator in lots of action-packed films. His career gained significant attention with John Wick, which he co-directed, though he was uncredited. And the film is notable for highly choreographed fight scenes And his filmography is impressive. Atomic Blonde, Deadpool 2, Fast and Furious Presents, Hobbs and Shaw, Bullet Train, which again, another action-driven, light-hearted style of movie, which does tend to be his thing. He's produced multiple films, and he continues to influence the action genre with his unique style and emphasis on practical effects and innovative stunt work. His background as a stuntman obviously brings a distinct authenticity and creativity to his action sequences, and it really does show on screen. As much as I feel like it's a missed opportunity, what I do feel like is that David Leitch has basically filmed an homage to the stuntman and the stuntwoman who are really kind of go behind the scenes. You don't really see them on screen, you see their bodies, but you're not really focusing on their face, it's always hidden. And this is a kind of way of him putting them on a pedestal and saying, look, these films wouldn't exist without these people. And in that respect, I really do think that he's done a great job here. I think there's some fantastic sequences and some stuff that you think, wow, how the hell did they do that? And I'm looking forward to seeing some behind the scenes footage on how a lot of the stunts were performed. Where it falls down, I think, is just the story. I don't think the story, plot and script are good enough for the cast and the effort that's been put into this $130 million film. And that's where I feel like it's let down. It also has a slightly bloated runtime of over 2 hours. In a film like this, I don't really think it needs to be longer than 1 hour and 45 minutes. That sounds like I'm being pedantic, but that extra 20 odd minutes, you are looking at your watch occasionally because they're trying to pad this thing out. So to sum up, I think this is good old-fashioned fun. It does have some elements of 80s slapstick and humor in there and comedy, and the fact that it's not preachy is a huge plus. I think you can take the family to this and you'll enjoy it. Will we be talking about it in 5 or 6 years' time? I don't think so, but I think this is a good step in the right direction. It's not a sequel, and it's not part of the Marvel universe, and it's not part of some other mega franchise. So I have to applaud it for that. If you like this content, please like and subscribe, and I'd love to hear any feedback from you in the comment section. If you've seen the film, what did you think? Did you enjoy it? Or I know lots of people who have. So let me know either way, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.